It's time with Jesus Christ. We're going to have a meditation where we meet Jesus Christ as an equal, as a fellow brother, a fellow spirit being. We see him as our master teacher. We see him as a friend. And so we approach him and we bring our worries and our troubles and all of our obstacles, and we simply lay them at his feet. We touch his healing gown, and we request from him full and complete healing, returning us to our wholeness. And as we request this, we release anything and everything that could be standing in the way. We release it, we let it go, and then we accept the healing into our lives. We unburden ourselves, and we know that as we do so, we become better capable and able to be of service in this world, to fulfill the reason that we came here now to fulfill. And we know that each of us has our own unique thing to contribute to the whole, to contribute to the world that only we can do. And so we release all that we need to let go of in any form of resistance or hesitancy. We let go of any sense of lack that says we are not enough, that we do not have enough, that we need to be more. And we recognize and accept that we are, in this very moment, all that we need to be. And we accept this in divine grace, knowing that our Creator created us endowed with beautiful attributes and gifts and talents and abilities overflowing. And perhaps we've never tapped into any of those. So we take this moment in time to take into our meditation and ask, what are my unique abilities, talents, contributions? What do I have to give to the world that only I can provide? We explore this in our meditation. We ask Jesus Christ to be our guide and to reveal to us all that we need to know at this moment in time to take our next step on our journey. And we ask for guidance and direction as to what steps that might be. And we open ourselves to the inflow of information that will inform us, that will guide us, that will direct us to our next step, as we know that we are always guided, guarded, protected, and directed in all that we do if we just have the eyes to see. And so we open our eyes with new vision. We open our ears, hearing on a level that maybe we've never heard before. Hearing as the divine speaks to us, which is always there. It is just ours to say yes. It is ours to open the door, as they are always knocking. And so we open the door and we step inside and we see what is awaiting us there. And I invite you to take this into your meditation. Enjoy your meditation. Remembering to breathe, turning it over. we talk to Jesus, handing over all that we no longer want in our lives and asking for all that we do want, and simply allowing. Remembering to breathe. Coming back into the room in present moment awareness, you bring with you all of the messages of this meditation. You take with you all of the experience. You feel revitalized, refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready for a whole new wonderful day. And I invite you to enjoy today's Sunday experience. Namaste.
morning, Amani Center. This is Reverend Belinda, and we have a special musician and speaker today. His name is Daniel Namod, and he is going to open the service for us today.
Hello, Amani. It's Daniel Namod, still here in Orange County. So glad to be joining you this morning with some words and songs. Let's begin with this opening song, a fairly cheerful thing, and I think a fairly true thing. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Let's sing. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Thank you. Good morning.
So welcome. I'm Reverend Belinda, and I'll be presiding over the order of service today. And a little bit about Amani Center and who we are. We've spent some time recreating a vision statement, a mission statement, and I'd like to share that with you. Actually, if you would repeat it with me, that would be wonderful. That way you can really infuse it with energy. So we are an inclusive spiritual community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives. And we do that by our classes, events, coming together Sunday mornings and communing with like-minded individuals. It actually is, this place is very special in having that ability to be together. So is anyone out there in the streaming land joining us for the first time? If you would like more information about the Amani Center and hours and events coming up, you can contact us at theamanicenter.org, at admin@theamanicenter.org. So we encourage you to do that just so we can connect with you. And the other thing that how we use this opportunity to grow in consciousness, like I said, is our classes. And we have an academy, year 1 through 4, and you can get a practitioner certificate. And what that is a healing ministry, really. And we use a tool called spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. And these graduates really enjoy praying for you, something that maybe you're trying to manifest in your life or maybe move out of your life. And so we make that available to all the fellowship, to anyone out there, complimentary. You can call us, you can email us, you can get a hold of us at the admin at amanicenter.org or 530-677-2300. And we will send prayers your way and have someone contact you to pray with you. So please take advantage of that. And now I'd like to bring up Marcy Mitchell to tell you more other ways that you can raise in consciousness.
Good morning, Amani. I'm here to go through our announcements with you. So I'm going to tell you all the stuff that's going on at Amani right now. So starting with our October schedule. So today is the 1st of October, October 3rd, and we have the wonderful Daniel Namod. You will really enjoy him. And then on October 10th, we have Reverend Pixie Dufour. On October 17th, we have ministerial intern Mitch Austin. On October 24th is our dedication ceremony, and you'll hear a little bit more about that in a moment. And then on October 31st is the wonderful Reverend Sherry Wynn. And we are just so blessed with all of the speakers here at the Amani Center. Our October theme is Serving the Self. So one of the things that we're doing right now are creative calling circles, which Allison Tomei, who is a local artist, is leading. And so these are meditative, they're visioning, there's painting, there's other forms of art, different every week, and very intuitive and fun. So she's doing these from 6 to 7:30 on Tuesdays. We do ask you to sign up in our Discover Center, which is at theamanicenter.org. That way she'll know how much supplies to bring. You can just come 1 week a month or 2 weeks or every week. There's discounts for the more classes you pay for. So again, that's at our website. And another thing that we have going on right now is the Hands and Hooves Teen event. And we are partnered with Hands and Hooves, which is a local nonprofit in the Pollock Pines area. They are bringing this wonderful teachings and experiences to kids and teens. And so October 16th will be a teen event from 10 to 4 out at the ranch all day with the animals, with nature, doing all kinds of experiences and activities, and it's amazing, and there is no cost to the kids. So if you are interested in this, if you have a teen who you might want to sign up or who maybe wants to come with a friend, follow the link that is at our website, theamanicenter.org, and our Discover Center. There's a form that it will take you to, and you can fill that out and give them your information, and then they'll give you everything you need to know to participate in this awesome event. So please do take advantage of it. And we have an amazing event here on October 23rd, and you're going to get a taste of Daniel today. You'll get a taste of him via live stream, and he is amazing always. But he will be coming to us in person on October 23rd for an evening concert here at the Amani Center. A portion of the proceeds are going to the Caldor Fire Fund, and tickets will be $25 in advance or $33 at the door. That is an awesome price. Let me just tell you, it's going to be an amazing event. Daniel is wonderful. He brings this energy, this beautiful music, and just his consciousness is just a delight to be around. So don't miss this. We're going to reach out to other centers and just let everyone know Daniel is in the house. So join us for that. And our dedication ceremony, which I mentioned earlier, we have been planning this for really 2 years. We intended to do it shortly after we moved into this new space, and then a little thing called COVID came along. And so we've put it off, but we've been thinking about it, planning, intentioning, and so now we have scheduled it for October 24th. So that's the day after Daniel's concert, so it's going to be just an amazing weekend in Amani. It will be during our regular service. It'll probably run a little longer. There will be ritual, and you will see the new practitioners get their certificates and be honored. And we have the Miwok Band of Indians coming to help us dedicate the space and to show our gratitude to them, the original inhabitants of this area. And there'll be music and ritual and connection. All our ministers will be here to partake. It's really going to be a special, wonderful event, and I just encourage you to come, bring your family, and we'll have a wonderful potluck afterwards and share cake and community. And I'm a little excited about it. So I will see you all at the dedication ceremony on the 24th. And we have a new class starting. Our Year 1 series is beginning again. In October on the 18th at 6:30 will be the 4 agreements led by Reverend Pixie Dufour and Reverend Angie Gann. They're going to be doing this via Zoom. It is a certified class, so it goes towards your certificate, as Reverend Belinda was talking about, for a practitioner. And it's a powerful transformational class. This is where it all begins. You really learn about the Four Agreements, the book by Don Miguel Ruiz, which is an amazing book, and begin your transformation. So sign up for this class. It's on a sliding scale. Sign up at our website, theamanicenter.org, and you go to the Discover Center, and I just guarantee you're going to love it. And we are doing a Amani float on Sunday after service, October 10th. Bring your paddle boards, bring your kayaks, bring your blow-up stuff, whatever you got. There will be some extra things that people are going to bring along to share. So come and just be in connection with us outside in the sun, on the water. We are still having pretty warm weather here in Northern California. We'll probably go over to Negro Bar, but we're pretty open. So we'll just meet up afterwards, bring your towels and your suits and a picnic or whatever, and just have some fun with your Amani family. So I'm going to turn it right back over to Reverend Belinda.
So it's now time to bless this service and kind of get centered and grounded and ready to receive all the blessings of this service today. So if you'll join me, sitting upright in your chairs, back nice and straight, and begin to go inward, that place of the divine right at the center of our being. For we know the divine is right here where we are, and right here in this room, in this service, at this time, all around us. And so as we immerse ourselves in the divine, we know that all is taken care of, and all is a blessing, here to serve our lives. And this Amani Center brings us all such great blessings, an opportunity to commune together, to grow in consciousness together, to lift our vibration even higher. And so we know as we take in this vibration and the divine knowing, we also take it with us as we go about the rest of our day, uplifting all others we come in contact with. This in and of itself is a genuine blessing to this planet. So we claim this for ourselves, we claim this for this service, and we're so grateful for the Amani Center for being here, and for each person that shows up to volunteer to make this happen every Sunday, every class, every event. So grateful for every participant. So we bless this service, we bless ourselves, we bless the volunteers, knowing that we are serving the divine. So we release this and let it go, knowing that that is always what we are doing, serving the divine, as we say together, and so it is. And so now I'd like to bring up Marcy to do the affirmation for us today.
Thank you, Reverend Belinda. All right, we're going to do the affirmation 3 times. We'll speak it the first time with energy and enthusiasm. The second time we'll bring it into our hearts a little bit quieter, speak it in a whisper. And the third time, just join me mentally as I speak it aloud. And we're going to bring that affirmation up on the screen. I prioritize my self-care every day. I prioritize my self-care every day. I prioritize my self-care every day. And together we say, and so it is. And so now we have a wonderful pre-meditation song from Daniel Namod.
People say the world is always speeding up, that there's hardly even time enough for love, that Mother Nature doesn't get things done the way that humans can, that we must never stand in the way of progress. It's time to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down now. Time to take a breath, and slow it down. It's time to look around at where we are now, at what we've become, and where we're headed. It's time to slow it down. Time to slow it down. I don't buy what these Google folks are selling, that we should all be living at the speed of light. Seems like all these glowing screens are always yelling to fill my head, but never give me peace of mind. It's time to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down now. Time to take a breath, and slow it down. It's time to look around at where we are now, at who we've become, and where we're headed. It's time to slow it down. It's time to slow it down. It's time to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down.
And so staying in this place of silence and stillness, it's time for our meditation. So if it feels comfortable, allow your eyes to close or leave them open if that's more comfortable. You can allow your vision to blur. Sit up straight in your chair, straightening your spine, and receive a cleansing breath in. Breathing in deeply, and then release that breath. Let's do this 2 more times at your own pace. Breathing in, clean, cleansing air, feeling it flow throughout your body, and then releasing it. And so now, if you will, visualize a bright white light shining down from the heavens, from high, high above. And it comes down directly to your crown chakra, to the top of your head. And just feel that light as it envelops your body, as it pours down from the top of your head, down your face and neck. Feel it pouring over your shoulders, relieving the tension, and uplifting the muscles, uplifting, filling with light. As it continues down each arm, past your elbows, your forearms, down to your fingertips, and is pouring down through your torso as well, filling you with this light, this brightness, this high vibration, this calm. As it continues through your torso, down through your hips, your thighs, past your knees to your calves, and all the way down to your feet and to the tips of your toes, illumining your whole body temple with this light, this high vibrational, soothing, calming, uplifting light. And imagine your body just glowing, glowing. Feeling this effervescence, this upliftment. Bring your focus to a word, an uplifting word that matters to you, like peace, or love, or connection, or kindness, or truth, whatever word resonates. Bring that word into your mind's eye, and from this place of high vibration and connection, let us just take some time in the silence, meditating on whatever word is speaking to us right now. Now, staying in this place of stillness and contemplation, it's time for divine healing. And so let us bring to mind a situation or a person or an animal that we feel could benefit from a healing prayer, from a knowingness of its wholeness. In a moment, I'll ask you to speak it aloud, the name of the individual, the situation, and it can certainly be you, if that's who you need to heal. We focus this month on that self-care. So now take a moment and speak the name or names of the people or the situations that you wish to bring healing to. And so we focus our knowingness of the perfection of each and every person on these names, these situations, and on whatever we called into our own hearts, whether we speak it aloud or not. And we let this healing energy, this loving energy, flow out from our light bodies and reach out to those needing the healing and across the planet, through our communities, through our states, through our country, and around the entire blue dot on which we live. We send out the knowingness of the wholeness. And in spite of what appearances there are, in spite of the facts that exist, in spite of the challenges that people experience right now, all across the planet. We don't deny it. We just know that that is not the truth of who we are. The things we are going through, the struggles, the addictions, the depression, the struggles with money or safety or mental health, none of that defines us. None of that is who we are. And so knowing our connection to the divine, to spirit, to this one energy that supports us, that lifts us, that is always here for us, we know that we walk through these challenges lifted, strengthened, ready to meet them, knowing that we are not alone. We are never alone. And so I am just grateful for this truth, for this great truth, that each and every one of us is lifted, supported, and connected by the one source. Whatever name we give it, it is here for us, and we have only to say yes. And so I say yes for us all. I say yes for the healing, for the love, for the amazing manifestations and miracles that come into our lives right now. and I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already unfolding. It is already done. And all is well. And together we say, and so it is. And so now another song by the wonderful Daniel Namod.
There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings, or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, or Jesus, or Lord. Call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, yeah. One power is what we are. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby. The serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power. Oh, what we are is one. The power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. wrote that song in about the year 2000, maybe 2001 at the latest. And it was a real gift to me, that song, in a lot of ways. It was harder to write than most songs I write. I wanted to craft the words just right, and that was because I wanted to say really exactly what that song says, which isn't always how a song turns out, of course. Anything you create can veer off to the left or right, and you look back and you say, how did I get here? This isn't what I meant to say. In this case, the song did turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. And the reason why that was especially important is because not only did it say something I wanted to say, but it said something I'd always wanted to say, something I'd always thought and always felt. As a kid growing up in a traditional Jewish home, learning Hebrew, learning the details, the nitty-gritty of Jewish religious practice, of holidays and traditions and food and history, which was, of course, its own beautiful thing. There was a part of me, while I was fully invested in it and still remember most of it, let's say, even though I haven't been immersed in it in a long time, there was a part of me that I held back, that was not invested in belonging to a small group, a small club, at the expense of belonging to the rest of the world, belonging to humanity, or maybe more accurately, at the expense of allowing everyone else to belong with me. You know, whatever club you've ever belonged to had its rules and has its walls around it, has its admission fee, literally or figuratively. Otherwise, it's not a club, right? Whatever religion you grew up in had its rules. You adhered to them or you didn't. And if you didn't, you weren't really in the fold. And I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to get to meet some or most of you, hopefully, when I visit I think it's, how long is it? Oh, it's in a couple months still, right? But I'm looking forward to visiting, and when I do, maybe you can let me know that I'm wrong, or maybe that I'm right, that you yourself, belonging to this community, which is most definitely an alternative community compared to the 3, 4, 5, 6 mainstream religions and, denominations of Christianity, etc., that you may yourself have always felt, or have felt in recent years anyway, like an outsider in the club in which you were supposed to belong, in the club in which you were raised. The rules that you were meant to follow, you may not follow. And maybe I'm projecting, maybe it's not true about you, but for me it absolutely is true. So I had the opportunity with that song to say something I'd always felt, which is, kind of simply summarized, if you're nice, I don't care what religion you are. And if you're not nice, I don't care what religion you are. So therefore, I don't care what religion you are. It doesn't matter to me what you call your clergy, what holiday you celebrate, what holy book you cherish and pass on down through the generations. What day your New Year is, what language your prayers are in, what hymns you sing or don't. What physical position you assume to pray, some bow, some bend, some stand, some rock back and forth, all kinds of things. That's not interesting to me. That's me, just me talking. I'm interested in it if you're nice to yourself, nice to everyone around you as best you can. Certainly not perfect, but nice. It sounds like such a bland word. But that's always been my primary value. And I really have some of the kids I grew up with to thank for that clarity. Let me explain. I grew up going to until 8th grade, I grew up going to a private Jewish school where half the day was in English and half the day was in Hebrew. And that was a pretty rigorous Jewish education. Rigorous enough, and we were immersed enough that my older brother became a rabbi. That's how important the traditions and the practices of Judaism were growing up for me. However, that didn't stop me from noticing that not everybody in my class was nice, even though they all purported to be religious, much more religious than I was already, even as 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old boy. I already knew a hypocrite when I saw one. At least that's how it felt to me. Somebody who prayed with great apparent sincerity and followed the rules and fasted on Yom Kippur and atoned for their sins as dictated in the texts, in the prayers, in the songs, sang at the top of their lungs, dressed right, ate strictly kosher food, and so on. But for me, none of that impressed me if they weren't nice, and there were kids who weren't nice. There just were. That inconsistency between religious practice and kindness showed me what I valued most. And that value has carried through now to my adult life and into a song like One Power. Now, I actually did not sing that song today in order to talk about the message of the song, or even the place of that song in my life story, which I've just now told you inadvertently. I actually brought it up for a different reason, which I will now go into for a few minutes in case it's interesting to you or spurs some thought for you, which is all I'm ever trying to do. My thought about One Power, and I've sung that song, I'm going to say conservatively 2,000 or 3,000 times. It's requested of me many, many places. A lot of people sing that song. It's become one of my best known songs. It's not a hit like a Taylor Swift song is, but in my life, in my career, it's one of the songs that I am known for and asked to sing most often. And it was written with this very, very deep, personal, and sincere intention, right? Not just to express something I'd always felt, but if I'm honest, it was written to make the world a peaceful place. It was written to shine a light of what I consider to be a simple, clear truth into the homes and hearts of all the world's religions, so that eyes would be opened, arms would be opened, the other kind of arms would be laid down, and maybe over time, as a species, we'd get a little bit wiser about what seemed to me, and still seems to me, the obvious fact that we're all occupying this same tiny, magnificent blue marble in the emptiness of space, and we are all wondering at the same time, and in very much the same way, what we are here for, how we got here, where we go when we leave, if anywhere. The miracle of it, the mystery of it, universal. Which leads me to conclude that we are all, those of us who pray, and I'm not saying I do or don't, and I'm not suggesting or assuming you do or don't, but those of us humans who pray, no matter what language we pray in, and no matter what book we pray out of, and no matter what day we pray, what time of day, what kind of building, no matter who's leading the service, whether it's a choir or a pastor or a rabbi or an imam, no matter what, it seems self-evident to me that we are all praying, those of us who pray, to the same God. I mean, kind of by definition. I always chuckle at church signs that say something like, our God. I mean, I hear songs like, our God is greater, our God is greater, or, and I always flinch a little bit at the words, our God. I mean, seems unlikely if the definition of God that most people use has any truth, and who knows, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, then there's got to be only one, because more than one suggests that there'd be, little battles going on in heaven, quote unquote, between multiple all-powerful beings, and that just sort of qualifies maybe as the ultimate paradox. How exactly would an arm wrestle between two all-powerful gods resolve itself? Not clear to me. So maybe that sounds simplistic, but really, if you drill down to the beliefs of all the world's religions that I'm aware of, you find the same yearning for clarity, for comfort. George Carlin, the comedian, said we spend 9 months trying to get out of the womb and the rest of our lives trying to get back in. And I do think, besides that being hilarious, I think it's also true. I think the love that we feel, the lucky ones of us who feel absolutely adored by a mother or a father or a grandparent, an uncle, an aunt, an adoptive parent, a sibling, those of us who feel that absolute adoration, we know it when we feel it. And I think we're all longing for that safety and comfort and kindness. And so we seem wired for whatever reason, whether it's perceptive, superstitious, primitive, whatever reason, we seem wired as a species to kind of simultaneously look up and look out and look within and suspect or believe, absolutely believe, to the point of knowing that there's some power, something made us for a reason. That seems to be a universal feeling and longing. So I write the song One Power, and I don't sing it as entertainment. I sing it to shine that simple light, that simple thought into the ears. Terrible, I've mixed every metaphor imaginable, but to kind of transmit that thought into the ears of everyone listening as best I can, to see if, when I'm gone, the world maybe could be a little more peaceful and collaborative and cooperative and compassionate and empathetic than it was when I got here. Now that is a grand ambition. And really the reason I sang it today, and the thing that I meant to say all this time, which I'm now getting to, I think, is that ambition is only bound to succeed if I stay very clear about how I measure the results. Let me explain. If I ran for president to make homelessness a thing of the past in America, to make hunger and poverty a thing of the past, to make rancor and division a thing of the past in America, you and I know how that would turn out. I would absolutely fail. And in fact, everyone who has ever been president of the United States, whether they intended what I just said or not, absolutely failed at doing that. The war on poverty didn't end poverty. The war on drugs didn't end addiction. You name the war, and it failed by any objective measure to end the ills that have always ailed America and the world and humanity and your city and mine, etc. The head of the United Nations, you got to figure that somewhere deep down inside, the person who runs the United Nations, the person who heads the Olympic Committee, the Worldwide Olympic Committee, the person who heads the United Way, the person who heads Habitat for Humanity. These are big dreamers, big ambition people, big vision people. And yet, they have never succeeded. They've never brought Universal cooperation amongst nations never ended. War never ended. Human-caused famine, drought, never brought peace between, sects in countries that have been, riven by ethnic separation, division, hatred, mistrust. They've never healed any of those things. So, if you were to define success in that ambition, you would say no one who's ever headed up any of these organizations has ever succeeded. So, maybe it's time for a different definition of success. Now, of course, you and I'm going to presume here, are not head of the United Nations, head of the Olympics, head of Habitat for Humanity. We're not U.S. senators. We're not, celebrities with a Instagram following of 7 million. We can't press a button and influence or impact millions of people at a time. I don't have that power. You probably don't have that power. Maybe you do. If you do, I apologize. But if you don't, and neither do I, then the definition of success in having a positive impact has got to be narrower. Now, why does it have to be narrower? Well, it depends. It depends whether I want to be frustrated and disappointed and feel like a failure my entire life. I don't know about you, but I don't do my best work when I'm feeling frustrated and disappointed and feeling like a failure. That's not the world inside in which I thrive. I thrive when I'm focused on a specific goal that I feel I can tackle. I throw myself all the way into it. I do the best work I can, right there, and then move on to the next thing. I'm a scatterbrain, so I'm not always focused on only one thing. In fact, I'm almost never. But when I do, that is when I do my best work. So what if I was to define success differently? What if I was to say, one power doesn't need to bring peace to the world? And realistically, I've thought this since I wrote that song. Imagine didn't do it. What a Wonderful World didn't do it. From a Distance didn't do it. Let There Be Peace on Earth didn't do it. You name the song and it did not. We Shall Overcome did not do it. You name the song and it did not bring peace to humankind. So why would I think that one power was the one that's going to do it? That's just setting myself up for that frustration and disappointment. But if I look at my work through a narrower, more human lens, I was going to say more compassionate, really more compassionate towards myself, that lens, then I can say that I may not bring down the walls that separate humanity with a 4.5-minute song. But I may sometimes manage to make the walls between us invisible or scalable for 4.5 minutes at a time. That I can aspire to. That I can feel like I've succeeded at doing. And you notice I say 4.5 minutes at a time because I have no illusion. No matter how peaceful somebody's feeling during a song, that peaceful, easy feeling can disappear in seconds after the song is over. It all depends on where you're at, what happens, what you see, what you think, who cuts you off in traffic, who fidgets in their seat, who's driving you nuts with a hard candy in the concert audience. Whatever it is, you can be pulled right out of that lovely, united, centered feeling. No problem. Easy. I don't know about you. For me, for sure. If I reel in my expectations, focus on the thing that I can actually do, paradoxically, the world opens wide to me. The narrower my focus on doing good, on doing right, the narrower the focus, the farther I can get towards that goal. I can't decide today to be a righteous person. But I can tell the truth about having been given too much change at 7-Eleven. It's a righteous thing to do. It doesn't make me a righteous person for a lifetime. A righteous person for a lifetime is a person who makes a righteous decision today. A song that I intend to make the world a peaceful place with doesn't make the world a peaceful place. It makes one unsteady, unnerved, angry, scared heart and soul in the audience a little calmer, quieter, and more connected. One person at a time. That I can do. You may, if you were raised with any kind of tough voice in your head, a tough judge and jury, I was, you may hear a voice in your head that says, well, that gives me a free pass. It means I can just do this piddly little stuff. So if I make 6 people happy in a coffee shop, so if I write a book and I sell 17 copies, so if I build a business and I never get past 4 employees, or I never get past 600 square foot in my little bakery, it never grows, I'm still a success, really? You may have that voice in your head. And I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, and I inconsistently feel this way. In other words, I'm absolutely not a master of this, but I do my best to tell myself it's not a free pass. It's an acknowledgement that life on earth is complicated, that I might have an intention, but so too do 7 billion other people. The world is a complicated system. I can't spread happiness like a tsunami. I can bring it to the room I'm in, bring it to the office I'm in, bring it to the woman I'm married to, bring it to my little boy, bring it to our dog. That I can do. The bigger goals, I think even if you looked at the people who seem to have achieved giant things, the Nelson Mandelas, the Dr. Kings, the Mahatma Gandhis of the world, I think even they, maybe especially they, would acknowledge they rode their own tsunami of timing, of historical situation, of circumstance that brought them to the place at the instant when the thing they most wanted to say was most pregnant for the most people, would make the biggest difference it could possibly make. Because people said what Gandhi said before Gandhi. People said what Gandhi said after Gandhi. He was in the right place at the right time with the right words, with the right consciousness to make a difference greater than anyone has a right to imagine. So it's our tricky luck that we can be in this modern day so aware of the biggest achievers in every field. We can be aware of them. We can know who's the fastest swimmer in the world. We can watch them on TV. So here we are swimming laps at the local Y, trying to improve our times, but we know that we are literally twice as slow as the fastest swimmer, and that can be demoralizing. So do you become the fastest swimmer in the world, or do you aim to take a second off your time? If you define success in a large, grand, and I might even say self-aggrandizing, or that is to say ego-attached way, you're going to be perpetually uneasy, at least in my observation, disappointed, frustrated, embarrassed even, ashamed. You're going to feel like you haven't done what you came to do. I have that feeling. When I do, I try to catch myself and remember, no, wait a second. I write a song, it moves someone. What if that was enough? And then the voice, no, don't give yourself a free pass, Danny. That's too low a bar. But is it too low a bar? Or is it itself the noblest intention that I can muster. When I go to the grocery store, I can't bring peace on earth, but I can improve the day of the woman who checks me out at the register. So if there's a takeaway from all of this free association of mine today, if there's a takeaway for you, here's what I'd hope it would be. If you scan your thought processes about the work you do, the kids you've raised, the marriage you've had, the money you've saved or not, the travel you've taken, the people you've helped, the lives you've touched, the art you've created, the business you've grown, the jobs you've had. If you scan your life and you catch yourself identifying some pocket of it, or more than one, as a failure because it didn't go big enough, didn't go far enough, didn't go deep enough, didn't make enough impact, didn't spread widely enough, I would invite you to consider whether the standard you're applying, the filter you're applying, may simply be unfair and unreasonable. That if you narrow your focus and address what you actually did do, not what you didn't get done, but what you've actually done, the love you've actually shown, the generosity you've actually shown, the difference you've actually made, the people you've actually touched. It's one of the reasons why I love the movie It's a Wonderful Life so much, because it gives us a glimpse into what it would be like for each of us if for just a few minutes we got to see the good we had done with our entire lives. If you look closely and truly at what you've done, from where you've come, a powerful, real, impactful success looks you in the mirror every morning. I'm not a pep talk kind of guy. I'm just making an observation. You haven't saved the world, neither have I, and neither has anyone else ever. But the difference you and I have made matters and adds up and counts. And I hope that helps you, as it does me, as I go about my day and about my work and about my relationships and about my life, to remember the good I've done and the good I'm doing matter. Thanks for having me. I'll close with one more song during the offering.
And now it's time for our joyous time of giving. Now it sounds interesting, doesn't it? Joyous and giving. But we can give in great joy to this beautiful center that supports us. And you know, we need your support. You are the center. And so there's many ways that you can give to this beautiful place. And truly, we've made it as easy as possible. First, you can text Amani at 44321. You can donate at the bottom of every newsletter. There's a donate button. And then you can also do your bank app and just send it out automatically. I like to just set mine up so I know that if I am not here on a Sunday, it goes out automatically. And you can also send a check. It'll get here eventually. And you can mail that to the Amani Center at 2558 Greenwood Lane, Suite D, Cameron Park, 95682. And that's in California, just in case you're watching us from someplace else on the planet. And so now I'd like to bring up our practitioner, Marcy Mitchell, to do a treatment for us.
Thank you, Reverend Belinda. And so now let us take a moment to go into prayer, allowing your eyes to close, receiving that breath in, and just knowing our connection, our utter connection to the One. Source, energy, God, the universe, whatever word we give it, it is here for us in every instant of our lives. And it is pure abundance, pure love, pure joy and opulence. There is no lack in Source. It knows only givingness and fullness and multiplication. So I know that each one of us is divinely blessed in our giving. And the more we give, the more flow we create in our lives. And that flow is happening now for each and every person in this room, each and every person hearing my word, and for the Amani Center. The abundance comes in and it flows out to others and it comes back, and it is ever flowing throughout our community, throughout our lives. Every need is met. Every abundance is seen. We are so rich. And so I'm so grateful for this truth. I'm so grateful to know that each one of us need not worry, and that we can give freely and receive freely, knowing that the circle is complete. And I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done. It is already unfolding, and all is well. And together we say, and so it is. And so on behalf of the Amani Center, I joyfully and gratefully receive your tithes, your offerings, everything you bring to us. I know that it is pressed down, it is multiplied, and it is coming right back to you and out to the world. So thank you for joining us with that. And now we have another song from the wonderful Daniel Namod.
This is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal, it's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller because of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time? I sure do look forward to seeing you at the end of October for a concert there on Saturday night, the weekend of October 23rd, 24th, 25th. That Saturday night, I'll be visiting you there at Amani. Thank you for having me today. Have a wonderful week ahead.
And so now, if you'll all stand, and so that we can sing together, "The Presence is Here."
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. And I will meet you in grace.
And so, ending this beautiful service today, I love this saying by Paramahansa Yogananda. He says, and it actually is a beautiful chant: "From joy I came, for joy I live, in sacred joy I melt again." Namaste, dear ones.